Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads and must converses the channel. Nice to see y'all. Happy Friday, for sure. Hope everybody's doing good. And what a week. Just playing. I mean, it is. It's always what a week, right? Hey, Christina. Nice to see you. Happy Friday, for sure. So, you might say, Noah, what's up with the beard, man? What'd you do? I have a brush. I have a brush. I don't use it very often, but I have a brush. Some great reading this week and some bad reading. Really. So hey Tyler, happy Friday. Nice to see you, brother. I figured I'd do like a proper Friday reads kind of deal where I'm going to talk about what I read because I did get through some books and I've started some more books. And it's been cool. It's been good reading, and as far as could read it quick and good. Hey, Starscream, Andrew, how you doing, buddy? So, Andrew was hitting me in comments just right before and was asking about what this is, The Killing Joke by Alan Moore and Brian Boland. There's amazing stuff, amazing art in this. Let's see if I can find. Okay, the opening scene. Okay, this is the opening page, first page. So no spoilers, right? I mean, how awesome. It's cool that they did this. This did come out in a colored comic, but they did this noir edition like they did with the noir Batman. I mean, sorry, the noir Watchmen and stuff like that. I like it. I like it a lot. It's freaking cool. It's a cool story. It's not big. It's really small, so it's not that, like a mind blow or anything like that. Hey, Lady Jane Books, happy Friday for sure. Hey, Agent Cave. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. For sure. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, then get me. I think that Rick said something. He was like, it's not hard, and was talking about my pronunciation of Quave, Quavy, Quavy. Hey, Conrad. Happy Friday. Nice to see you for sure. Tom LA Books in the house. Dang. I really I love your stuff, Tom. Got into your stuff a day out of this week right here. And man, what a cool nice. I love Watchmen. I love Watchmen. I love Alan Moore. But yeah, I mean, Watchmen is just awesome. Total classic. Nice to see everybody hanging out. Man, the community is so cool. Hey Nick Voro in the house. Yeah, I love I love good artwork. I do read have quite a bit of graphic novels. Hey Pavio in the house. Nice to see you. Happy Friday, and I hope you're having a good Friday too, brother. Thanks for stopping by. If you can't stay, all good. I am going to be showing some cool stuff. God, I've read all over the map lately. I feel really, kind of like I've read just a wide swath. It feels good. It's cool. A lot of different kind of stuff. Yeah, I like the noir as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody in the house. Hey, Moon Palm, Nancy in the house. Nice to see you. For sure. I wonder when we're gonna buddy read something again, Nancy. We did Sanctuary. That's not good enough, right? That's not near good enough. It was, uh, uh, you know, a letdown for me. I don't like reading things that I don't love, right? I want to love everything that I read. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. It's so cold here. I'm in Georgia. It's so cold and it's going to get so cold that I mean, you know, you don't want to go outside. We're going to take it easy this week. So it's been a really disappointing start to the year for me to tell you all the truth. Not reading wise, but um I've really fallen in love with this Jeep. My mother got me a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a used one, 2002. But I love it. I mean, it's just great. So fun. Emptying shelves. Oh no, don't empty the shelves. So when I got it, the sound was really bad and the speakers were all blown and things like that. So I had put new speakers in it and I called my brother up and I was going to put a system in it, like an old school car stereo, like what me and my brothers used to do when we were kids in high school and things like that. Hey Trish, happy Friday. So we got it all done. I mean, I went out to his house. He lives kind of far from me, not too far. He lives an hour, a little over an hour from me, north of Atlanta. So we drove out. We had some fun. We hung out, all this kind of stuff. A couple of days, changing out everything. That's right, Nick. And we got all the inside speakers switched out and a new stereo. It was cool. It is cool. And then we were going to put the system in the second time, and we got everything ran, all the wires, and it was tough. Hey, Bookish Bryant's, man, I really, you know what? That's what Zelda said. Zelda goes, Dad, why don't you get a record player in your car? And I was like, yeah, no. Yeah. Nice to see y'all. I jumped into y'all's live earlier. I was out with the girls going, I was shopping myself, getting some things that we needed. So that's when I saw, and I had hit you earlier, Jim, on Instagram because I wanted to just say hey and open up a line of communication between us, Jim. That's not on a comment section. So if you do Instagram, if you pay any attention to it, then hit me back on there. We'll have some conversation. I do want to open up a line of communication with you like that. Yep, I'm sure of it. Oh, no need to thank me. Thank you guys for doing it. I mean, I love this stuff. I love this stuff, right? It's what it is. So, I got my Jeep all hooked up, the stereo all hooked up, and when we turned it on, smoke started pouring out of my brother, the amp that he had. It was a $1,200 watt Planet Audio. From he's had it for years. He's had it for maybe, you know, over 5 years, maybe more than that. And so uh it started smoking and it's totally fried. He said he's going to take it apart and look at it. There's about a 50-50 chance that he can fix it. But now my my Jeep's wired for sound and I got some subwoofers in the back, but can't power them. So I'm gonna have to find me an amp at some point. But it was so disappointing, to put in the work and I'm hanging on my bro and we wanted the fruit of our labors, right? And wasn't able to do it. Hey, baby, Emily, I think was had headed out to get something that she needed just right before I started. So hopefully you're back, baby. I don't know if she's back yet or not because I had to start the live if I was going to stay on schedule, right? So I'll start off with the disappointing read from the last week, a little over. I think this one only took me like 3 days, and it wasn't. I had started it last weekend, and it's Kane by Jose Saramago, and I have no reservations now with saying that this is a total crap book. It's not written well. It's not what I expected to see from Saramago in any kind of way. I love his writing. I mean, that's why I still hold on a second. Do I really not have the light turned on? Let's see if this helps, right? If this makes it better. Is that better? Can you see better? I hope so. So I'm gonna move over to the desk a little bit. So Saramago's a great writer. The prose, the writing is very cool and unique, and it's just the way that it's a unique voice, and people love Saramago's writing. I do too. That's why I've read multiple books by him and still have this kind of thing. But the kind of thing that he does with the double and uh, and blindness, things like that, these fiction stories, he did, is something different way different than what he does with his kind of midrash of appropriation of biblical text kind of stuff. We have, where I would start with Saramago, probably the double. Um, I'm gonna read Death with Interruptions. That comes so highly regarded. But the next read that I'm gonna do, Jim, the next that I'm gonna do is the Stone Raft. And this is another fiction, kind of a magical realism, it kind of seems like. And I'm looking to get something better and more well written. The thing is Kane seemed really, really phoned in to me. It was totally phoned in. There wasn't really depth to it. It the stories that he brings up is all Old Testament biblical stories, and he's not really making any comment on them, but just painting them in the worst, most ridiculous kind of light. And like, why would you ever believe this? Why would you ever think that? This kind of thing. Hey, baby. Emily is home. So, thank you. And it's not cool. It without any really real depth or commentary on stuff. It's not that I'm up and down with Saramago. I like Saramago in a lot of ways, as a writer, and I love writing, of course. But I don't like Saramago in a lot of ways, as far as why would you know, adulterate your own uh, vocation, your own art, your own writing to, propagandize your own opinions. And that's what he does. He's an atheist, which is fine. I mean, I don't have anything against atheists. I mean, I personally think that it's limited, very limited, as far as how much of what our life experience you're taking into account with your world, reality view of reality. But I've been there. Okay, I've been there for a long portion of my life, where I was very comfortable with describing myself as an atheist, and even pushing that kind of thing. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, I mean, Saramago is one of those that I don't recommend, but I don't shy people away from either. There's a lot better stuff out there. And, he did, I think, win, kind of awards for being this kind of pushing an agenda, you know, a backlash, which is totally valid too. Like, his position to, kind of strike out against the church because of his own personal dealings with church, and not just him personally, but his culture, and where he lived, where he came from, Portugal, and this kind of thing. I mean, I get it, and I don't hold it against him, but it's not for really anybody. You get a sense that he's just sitting there, high-fiving an atheist buddy of his, saying, look what I've done. This is I made this so ridiculous. And what is it doing? Most of the time, the most that I can get out of this book that he's really trying to push is an argument that, um, you know, the worst human being, a horrible human being, who is Cain. Okay, Cain is not a likable character, but Cain is our main character. That a total, crap human being that just doesn't achieve anything. Just is a total, you know, wild guy, sure, but also, rebelling against everything. That kind of human being, that God is still worse than that guy. Than the everyman that is, just for lack of a better word, a vice driven uh human being. And that God is still worse, right? And I'm just like, yeah, no. Hey John in Australia, cool. um Nice to see you, and thanks for coming by. Happy Friday. Always cool. Cool. Very cool, Scott. And thank you. And Becky, hey, for sure. He is very cynical. And it's not funny. The kind of stuff that he does with Kane, there's not a lot of humor at all, but the humor was meant to be in the ridiculousness. It's like preaching to the choir is what he's doing with Kane. It's like a book for atheists. So this was his last book. This was his final novel, and it sucks. It just sucks. It's really phoned in. It's shallow. He didn't really have a lot to say, and it's really just kind of like, a dig at God, but the God in his book is not any God. you know, there's so many logical inconsistencies in Kane. It's insane. I hear J.G. Ballard is great. I've never read any J.G. Ballard. So, maybe High Rise, maybe Crash is in my future. But I appreciate you saying that because, you know, I don't want to be disappointed. And I mean, I'm glad I read Kane. I'm glad that I read Saramago when I read Saramago because I want to know, because I will rip Kane apart very, very deeply. I will rip Kane apart. Cain ends up a time traveling through all these stories in the Old Testament. Job, Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham and Isaac on the sacrificial pyre, these kind of things. And so Cain, the first son or something, sees everything from the Old Testament. So thousands of years. And there's no explanation for it at all. It sucks. And there's no reason for it. And God doesn't know what's going on with Cain. Cain is completely like free, has freedom, free will, and God doesn't know anything that Cain's doing. There's this kind of thing where God's surprised why Cain, how Cain could have done what he did. It's like, well, then you're not omnipresent. Well, then you're not, omnipotent. You're not, all knowing. So framing God like that at the beginning is of total falsity. The angels have free will in Cain. Angels make statements and actions that give them free will. You know what I mean? And angels don't have free will. What's the point of how is a who's the author of Saramago? No, Saramago is the author. Jose Saramago, he's a Portuguese author. So I've read quite a bit. Not a bit. I need more. I mean, I always feel like I need more Saramago. But I keep going, I will keep going. Like I said, I'm gonna read the Stone Raft next. I read this with a buddy, Dave, on a podcast called Chatting Lit Podcast, and then we're gonna read the Stone Raft. We're gonna do that, and then we're just gonna have a podcast where we talk Saramago. So I'm gonna talk, all through Saramago in a podcast, and we'll see. The premise sounded interesting, of course. Well, who doesn't like some good biblical narrative, appropriated to do something cool with or do something interesting with? For sure. He doesn't do anything cool with this. He doesn't do anything interesting. It is just a dig, just him, you know, bastardizing his own art writing to, you know, put his opinion out there like that. It's crazy. Yeah, right. And I mean, Cain rips Abel apart in this, and that how this kind of thing plays out, it's really weird. It just sucks, and it's like, what are you doing with this? What is it? What is happening? What is happening? Anti-elitists. There you go, baby. Let's read. Yeah, all the subject, all the subversive, undermining the establishment literature that we can, for sure. I got some of that coming up for sure. The Drowned World by Ballard. Hey, Scott Danielson in the house. I love Scott Danielson. Thank you very much, man. Um, Angels do have free will, by the way. Well, I mean, I was under the impression that free will and choice, in a theological sense, is what separates us, right? And there you go. Tom is so. I mean, I'm wrong as far as a an established theological idea of angels. I'm no Catholic. I'm no, religious person. I don't describe myself as religious ever, you know. Um, but I would love to get into that more, of course, to understand it. Now, of course, Saramago is writing, his version of understanding of Christianity and what uh religion, Western religion, Christianity is very Catholic, of course, with more in there, I'm sure. Nice. Hey, Jack. Yeah, that's right. I'll be your keeper, Jack. I won't let anything happen to you. I mean, you know, unless Megan comes around, then you're on your own. But I mean, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can handle that. But as far as booktube, I'll be your booktube brother keeper. That's for sure. Great to see you too, for sure. Um, yeah, Lucifer chose differently. I mean, there is an aspect of choice in that for sure. Good point, Christina. And yeah, I mean, I don't that didn't kill it for me, but just that kind of thing made me, kind of question, like, okay, well, what is the parameters here? What is the deal? It did remind me of Mark Twain wrote a book called Letters from the Earth, and I love it. It's very it's satire, religious satire. And so you have Satan writing letters from the earth to God saying, "Oh my God, look at what, let me tell you about what the humans are doing down here. They really think that you are watching them. They think that that you give a crap about them." And there's this dialogue. And then talking about, man, they think that heaven is like this. Listen to this stuff, playing harps on clouds and stuff. How boring would that be? And in Cain, there's that kind of thing where the angels are complaining to Cain behind God's back about how boring heaven is. And I can get it. I get this kind of, it's that kind of thing is amusing, but he doesn't take it anywhere. He doesn't do anything with that to kind of blow it out or do something with it. There's not much done in the book except kind of establish this argument that God is a megalomaniac, murdering a psychopath that doesn't really understand human beings at all. So, you know, doesn't understand what he created, right? And so, whatever. I mean, it was just this kind of thing. All right. So, let's see. I don't know. The best place to get it from, I eBay stuff. I get books for very, very cheap. Hey, Brian, it's all good. It's all good to be late. I'll be here for an hour. Something like that. So the Stone Raft is next, and I hope to enjoy that one. If not, Death with Interruptions will be after that, and I'm pretty sure that I will enjoy that one because it comes highly suggested, highly lauded. Yeah, thrift books for sure. That's a good site. That's a good website for sure. So right now I'm reading a few things. Uh, Borges is back. We're working through Brody's report still, uh, slowly, but I did read an amazing little short piece. I mean, they're all short pieces, right, from Borges. But one of the stories from Brody's report is called The Encounter, and it was awesome. Awesome. Like 5 pages, and the images stuck with me, have stuck with me all week. Been talking about it It is great. So I'm sure, and not totally sure because I don't know how much content we'll do on Brody's report, but right now, as it stands, that is high in the running for some content. So the encounter by Borges, probably do some content on that one. I think I might do some content on Borges, like uh on Brody's report as the collection of stories, and it compared to things like fictions and the Aleph and the Maker and what he's written before, because it is a departure from his normal, like what he does, what Borges did. It's a Brody's report. He's more mature and he's going for something completely different. Labyrinths is a collection that has stories from all across his writing career. I have a copy, so let me see what's in there. I got it because I love this. Look at this reflective cover. I have another reflective cover to show a little bit later on too. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much of everything um in Labyrinths here, but most of it is from fictions and uh the Aleph, it looks like. And then there's a selection of essays, and then there's small parables, but it doesn't look like it goes to Brody's report. This might have been, collected before Brody's report was done. I think. Just a guess. Yeah, yeah. Hey Brian, I'm about to show some really cool stuff. So, yeah. Well, I've been reading Borges. I'm reading Borges in chronological order. So I've read all of Borges before, 1970, I think, is when Brody's report come out. If I'm not mistaken, Brody's report 1970. That's right. So I'm all the way up through 1970 and I've read almost everything. We have The Book of Sand and Shakespeare's Memory are two collections that are after Brody's report. And that's just fictions, right? I'm also going to read his nonfiction and things like that. I'm not going to be so systematic on the nonfiction. I'm just going to read, whatever. But with the fictions collection right there, we decided to go chronologically and just read it all. Just read it all. Yeah, when a writer suggests a writer that I love suggests somebody, I find them and I read it because writers give great suggestions because they read everything. They're real readers. Oh no, Jack. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear it. Look like we got a sickly boy on our hands. It's from an old movie. Yeah, I've seen the black and white one too. That this edition is a newer edition of when I guess New Directions, you know, uh, was kind of building themselves up a little bit more, right? Yeah, yeah. Y'all are so good. It's snowing in Dahlonega. No way. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna get any precipitation down this far. Scott and Becky Bryant, the bookish Bryants are very close to me. Dahlonega is not is farther than my brother, so it's over an hour, but it's not, it's not 2 hours. So very cool. I don't know if we're getting there. I love Funes memory, Mr. Funes. I love it. Yeah, the man who can't forget anything. It's wonderful. Oh, Tom, it floors you because Borges can take something like that, and with that story, he takes it and then makes it to where you go in Funes' mind a bit, and he can live a whole life in a moment. because there's so much detail to every single moment, and he really gets all of that. So um he takes you into an infinity of a moment in that story. It's amazing. Amazing. I love Borges. And it amazes me uh how many different ways Borges can look at an idea and pull out. The Gospel According to Mark is coming. I'm reading that it's in Broder's report. I haven't read it yet. I have come in contact with it before. I think I might have read it actually. There's one in Brody's report. I don't know. I'll know when I get to it again, right? When I come in contact with it again. I have a really good a pretty good memory for Borges, but in the context of my reading it chronologically, anything that I've come in contact with, outside of the chronological order, is has a tendency to get kind of, oh, seriously right now. Here we go. Now I got serious bots. Serious bot action. Do you see this? Do you see this? I'm not even putting them up on the screen, but that's what it is. Nice. We may get snow at 11 tonight. So, you know, bam. I blocked the user. That's the first time I've ever blocked the user. Oh, but I did it. Books that talk about books. Oh, we all love some books that talk about books. That's for sure. I can't wait to read the Gospel According to Mark, but really any Borges that I haven't read yet, right? Did you see that? Oh, love face. Love face, you got blocked. You don't have to report it. But you can, I mean, I'm sure that kind of helps out too. You can't get rid of them. I mean, I can block them and then they're gone. You can report them and then they'll be, maybe have to make a new account, or they're not even real. They're not even people. You see, these are bots. See, there you go. Already back, right? The Gospel According to Mark Richardson. That's funny. But now I feel like I'm really making it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm really making it, guys, with the bots. See, y'all have made it too, Bryant's. Y'all have made it too. We've all made it. They're back. I don't care. I mean, who cares? Really? Um, so I have started reading, and Jack is reading this with me. This is The Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. And this is a really, really cool book so far. What a palate cleanser. What a wonderful kind of book, that narrative voice that is so different than what I usually read, because Louise Erdrich, the main character, is very much kind of like her in a way. I wouldn't say that it's a mouthpiece for her, because the character is just in the same situation that everybody else is, but also is a kind of a way for her to show what she thinks or how she approaches the world. It is a indigenous, mixed, maybe, or an indigenous, native population Minnesota girl, and she is adopted, lives, is 26 years old now, has lived with a white family in Minnesota her whole life, but goes to a reservation and meets her biological mother, who's married, and this is how it opens up. But behind this, she's pregnant, and her adopted parents don't know. She tells her birth parent, her birth mother, she tells her, um, kind of just happens, right? But she's pregnant. She's like 4 months pregnant, and the apocalypse is happening. The world is going down in some kind of way, and it seems like my cat has a bell, a bell collar on, and she's in here. I mean, like, come on, Haku. My cat's name is Haku, and if you go to the door, Haku, I'll open it up. How about that? Maybe climate. There seems to be that the world is kind of doing something. I don't know what, but has been some allusions toward the heat. I know, right? Now I'm big. I've done it. I've done it. Boom. I'm there. Just read The Watchmen. Oh, okay, cool. Anyone have thoughts on this new book? Read the books of Jacob. Yeah, anybody? I mean, I'm not reading it. I don't have it, but I'm definitely down to read it. What a celebrated author. Drive your plow over the bones of the dead and all that kind of stuff. This is cool. And let me tell you, um, there's also this kind of like de-evolution idea where like human beings are moving backward, and there's some stuff talking about moving backward in time, talking about backwards evolution, this kind of stuff. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know if Haku was doing that like purposefully so that somebody, did so that I did something for him, let him out, but whatever. But that's kind of where I'm at. You don't know the kind of apocalypse is in the background. It's creepy, but Erdrich is a beautiful writer. And it's beautiful in, I had said this to Jack, that it's how tender that she treats her characters. And I don't know, this is my first Erdrich, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but it's so tender and understanding of people, um, in their emotional lives, in their mental struggles, these kind of things. Our narrator is a very smart woman, and how she deals with people and how she thinks. Yeah, haiku as in poetry. Yes, not the maybe the poet rest. Yes. Um, future home. Yeah. Yes. It is interesting structure because she's talking to the child. That now it's like the book is a diary that the main character, Cedar is her name, is writing for her unborn child. And so it's but it's so beautiful. Just the interactions of the characters and our narrator, how she is navigating that. Even in her own mind, it's not even dialogue and things outwardly done. It's beautiful. It's really cool. So I can think that I will Macho Man's brother, the genius. That's great. So I mean, I even just off this, I'm enjoying it so much that I'm probably gonna read some more Erdrich. Danny at Spinelli Speaks loves Louise Erdrich, and I had started a conversation with her about Erdrich. She hasn't read The Future Home of the Living God yet. So we'll see, right? She suggested a different one. I forget the name, but I have it, saved. So, but she gave me my next suggestion, and I'm open for other suggestions too because I want the best, right? I'm glad I'm starting here though because it's so interesting. I've heard Flights is really good for sure, but I haven't read any Olga. So one that I've started, but I'm having trouble really getting into. I've started, but I'm kind of like anxious. This is a very, very short work. It's 57 pages. The Obscene Madam D. 57 pages, and it seems completely obscene, where this woman has, uh, removed herself from all life. She lives under the stairs. She lives in this hole. It's filthy. It's animalistic. It's uh, you know, brutal on herself. It's very ascetic. And she's in a process of deconstructing her own psyche. We'll see where it goes, but there's an apprehension towards getting this. I'm reading this with Una over at the Codex Cantina. So that'll be over the next week. We'll see if how much, kind of discussion or content comes. Maybe it won't be this next week that I'm doing content on that. I probably will do some content on Kane. I'll do a really satisfying video on Kane. I'm gonna do some Flannery O'Connor. We're gonna be live tomorrow. I'm gonna do live tomorrow on my channel with Christy, Louise, Dostoevsky in Space, Victoria of A Musical Bookworm, and Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia, and Ursula's Odds and Sods. It's a channel that you have to check out. She's cool. I will put it in the description box, and we're all going to be talking Flannery O'Connor. We've all been doing Flannery O January, and we're going to do it. The Roundhouse, that's very cool. Very cool, Trish. I think I saw the Roundhouse. Jack, is that the one that I sent you a picture of? Because if it is, then I didn't buy it. I don't have it. And I don't have it for sure, Trish. I only have this. This is the only Louise Erdrich I have. I found, I think, the Roundhouse in a thrift store, and I sent a picture to Jack. I said, "Yo, is this a good one? Have you read this by her?" Because see, it's his suggestion that we read her, and he said, "Yeah, it's a good one." But I had already left the store. I had already checked out. I had already gotten done. So I was like, "Oh, I should have grabbed it." It was a good one. It was one that's suggested. So let me know if that's the one that I for sure sent you a picture of or not. Yeah, very cool, James. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, she won a Pulitzer Prize in literature, right? Is that right? Very cool. Jeez. See? See? Oh, Nick. Dude, Nick, this might be a completely incredible, amazing work. It's obscene, but she's compared to Lispector. Hilda Hilst is compared to Lispector all day. And yeah, why the cat is Haku is really from the Spirited Away. The dragon is named Haku in the Spirited Away, right? And my girls they do love some anime, that's for sure. And me too. I mean, my favorite anime of all time is Samurai Champloo. Baby! What's up, Starscream? Samurai Champloo fans in the house? Nujabes fans in the house? I love it. I love it. Yeah, Jacob Frank is an actual historical character. I doubt that there's much nonfiction to this. I think there's a lot of creative license to the books of Jacob, but I hear it's great too. I mean, so no problem with that. Trish, you're the best. Thank you very much, Trish. That will be great. Lady Jane is busting out. All right, Lady Jane. Have a good night. Happy Friday for sure. Thank you for spending 45 minutes with me. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I need to read more Singer. There's a few that I've read, but I need to read more. That's for sure. So after what I've said so far, what I'm reading, The Obscene Madame D, I might read it in one sitting, right? I might read it in one sitting. Yeah, Lispector is brilliant. I love Clarice Lispector. And so does Una. That's why he suggested. So I suggested that we read Pedro Paramo. So we did that, and Una's pick is The Obscene Madame D. So we're buddy reading both of those books right now. I just did Pedro Paramo, and we did that discussion last night. And then Obscene Madame D action, baby. I don't know what kind of content we might do on it. It might be a little tough to talk about without trying to go. Emily, her favorite anime. Do I know your favorite anime? I mean, now that you call it out, I can't, think of it, of course, right? Right when you call it out. Um, there's so many good ones. There's so many great ones. Tell me. I can't think of what is your favorite, like, just because I'm on the spot, I'm sure. But I'm gonna reach out to Jay over at The World According to Jay. Jay's a funny guy, and he does cool content. Reads a lot of independent writers and reads a lot of horror, but mostly focuses on independent books, which is commendable, right? And you'll get turned on to small press and independent writers from Jay very, very well. Um, we're gonna team up and read Miss Lonely Hearts by Nathaniel West. And I might go ahead and read The Day of the Locust as well. I have never read it. Comes very highly lauded. And you see, I got 2 copies here because I had a copy and I found a copy in the thrift store. And so I got it because it's $1, right? So you know what happens on my channel when you have 2 copies of a book. So when I read this, look out on the content either here on Instagram, because I will be probably in my review, in my content that I make on the books on Miss Lonely Hearts. I'm going to give away a copy for sure to just whoever, right? whoever says, "Hey, me," that's who's gonna get it. Y'all are so funny, I swear. Nice. Nice. Yes. See, Jack is almost perfect at. Oh no, again, Jack is almost perfect at putting uh books together in a reading idea, like a big reading idea of multiple books, for sure. Oh, that's right. Well, you just watched that. Did you really like it that much? I didn't know it. I didn't know that you liked it that much. Um, More bots. I can't believe this. But that's the kind of bot that I don't mind. The bot that doesn't really say anything. Really? I'm all over it, Jack. We're gonna have some fun with it, and I'm sure Jay is gonna have some fun content on it. Maybe we'll get together and have some discussion because he's a funny guy. He's really, unfiltered, right? Yeah, hear great things about Miss Lonely Hearts. It's another small one. So, I mean, I'm done with, I've done big books, a lot of big books on my channel. That second year there, I just focused on big books all year. So now I feel, I'm just burning through a lot of stuff that I couldn't really, have a whole stack of small stuff and work through it. These big books require a lot of mental space for me, for sure. Wow. Wow, Jack. Okay, I'm reading Day of the Locust as well. For sure. For sure. My Hero Academia, I hear great things, that's for sure. I didn't watch it. It was a long binge of that. They're still making them though. So, very cool. Oh, come on, Christina. You want to buddy read it with us? You want to retouch it? We can do it. We can do it. Very cool, baby. Very cool. Yeah, I can't wait to get to it. I am doing a mammoth in March. I'm it's Mark at Book Time with Elvis. Mark had hit me at the end of last year and said, "Hey, you know, I want to rerun." Nice. He goes, "Hey, you want to run Shogun by James Clavell for March of the Mammoths?" And I was like, "Heck yeah!" All right. It's been over 20 years since I read that. Not maybe over 20, maybe 20, something like that. Because I read it before I had any kids. I remember that. I remember that I didn't have any kids when I read that one. So it's been too long. There's so much to that book. It's a big book, but it's a wonderful narrative. It's killer. So I can't wait to revisit it. Shogun by James Clavell in March. That's what's on my docket. And I'm happy with it. You know, I'm not doing, and I'm going to read some big books this year. I don't mean to say that I'm not going to read any big books this year, because it's what I do. But I am going to focus. I'm not going to focus on big books, right? I'm not going to focus on big books at all. So, speaking of smaller books and uh, weird stuff, what I love, experimental fiction and stuff like that. Um, I grabbed a few because these are more things that are going to be coming up on the channel. They're going to be reads over the next month, right? And this might be a more like the next 3 weeks projection because they're smaller books that are on my TBR. They're on my TBR shelf. So I'm just grabbing them off. But one of the ones that's happening sooner rather than later and pretty damn soon. Nice. Do it. Do it, Jack, and we'll do some comparative content. That's funny. Um, yeah. I mean, Shogun is just awesome. Um, this book was suggested to me by Seth over at Waste Mailing List. You can see Seth in a video. He's started a channel, and I'll link it in the description box. He's only done one video, and it's a really strong debut. It's a strong first video. It's really cool. He's exploring Naharkai. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I'm that's what I think. That's what I hear. The melancholy of resistance. So it's a long video, but it's cool exploring a single book. But he said if there was one book that he could re-experience again for the first time reading, it's In Watermelon Sugar by Brautigan. So I had never read it. I got a copy. It's been sitting. It's going to be read. Of a book that you wish that you could re-experience again for the first time. So it's coming up. I don't know what to expect. I hear really weird stuff. I hear crazy stuff, which is, I guess, what I do expect, right? We'll have some fun. We'll have some fun. Mm. The mini series with Richard Chamberlain. I never watched it. I heard it was really popular, but no, I never watched it. Shogun is James Clavell. Clavel. Clavell. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Christina. Bam. Bam. Get him. James Clavell, you got it. And yeah, I mean everybody needs to read that. Yeah, there you go, Locke's Library. Thank you very much. So yeah, I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read it. I'd love to, hear your thoughts about it or anything as well. I can't wait. Anything that's suggested like that is something that I go for. Wow. Damn. Yeah, so come on. Kuntz. Kuntz going after Brautigan? Come on. Jack, are you telling me that yours and Seth's reading tastes don't completely line up? Trout fishing in America, baby. I showed y'all that Brautigan that I found in the thrift store. It's a bind up of 3 of his works. It has A Confederate general from Big Sur dreaming of Babylon and the Hawkline monster. And so I was like, why is this in the thrift store? I of course I'm gonna get it, but I don't know, Broutigan, and we'll see how it goes. I might like it, I might not, right? Um, Different strokes for different folks, right? Y'all are too funny. So another one that's been on my, and this is the other reflective book that I said I had in store for you. Another that was on my shelf for a while that I want to read, and I came across this one from old Cliff Sargent over there at Books Are Better Than Food. Get that coffee and buy the last wallet that you'll ever need to buy or something. It's The Tenant by Roland Topper. It's a very kind of a surreal avant-garde kind of book. You can see this cover is awesome, and he's swimming. The author photo, he's swimming. It's underwater. So and the guy is throwing himself off of a building in on the cover. So The Tenant might might if this was another channel, there might be some spoiler warnings with this one. You're just gonna have to, read at your own risk. But it does come highly lauded, and I've never read it before, so we will see. We will see. Y'all are great. Yeah, like the Borges. Yep. But even this is even more reflective than the Borges, or maybe it just has less fingerprints on it. Because I be touching Borges. I be putting my hands on Borges, right? Whenever I think of Borges, put my hands on one of his books every time. Can't help it. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I did hear that they made a film about it too. Isn't it like French or something though? I'm not totally sure. Nice. Well, hey Jack, maybe it's time to revisit him with a fresh pair of eyes. Right? Right, right, right. Yeah, cool. Very cool, Nick. I haven't seen it, so no spoilers. I'm gonna get it and then I'll watch it. I did hear that the film is really, really great. A classic film. Like the quality, the atmospheric quality, how things are done. Uh didn't like the flat. Didn't like the flat. I wanted to show it, but see, it's not getting the glare, right? It's not getting the glare. I mean, it seems like the story is heavy for sure. Nice. Let's buddy read it, Nick. Let's do it. I mean, dude, I read these little books. Like I said, I read Kane in like 3 days during work week, during the work week. So I'll do it. Ah, you're funny, Jack. I swear to God. Oh my God, Jack. Stop. Oh, you didn't like it? Yeah, Polanski. I heard that. Roman Polanski. Mm-hmm. I don't go for it. Like when I heard that, I was just like, I'm gonna read the book because I'm not gonna go for a movie before the book if I'm gonna read the book, right? Oh God. So we're gonna put it on the long list to get to then, right, Jack? Let's do it, Nick. Yeah, I'm down too. I'm super down. And then the final that I got to show that's going to be coming up soon, sooner rather than later for sure, is Wittgenstein's Mistress of David Markson. This was on the end of the year for last year, something that I kind of wanted to get to if I could get to it, but I had no idea how much mental capacity and effort uh, Infinite Jest was going to take for me. I should have known, you know. I mean, there's a reason why I haven't read it before, and that, you know, I didn't go at it. Infinite Jest, that is. Um, I knew it was going to be pressing, you know, trying, and but it just happened. It's just what happened last year. I did a lot of David Foster Wallace. Didn't mean to. Sorry, not sorry, because I really do love David Foster Wallace. Um, and I didn't get to Wittgenstein's Mistress, but I will. I will be doing that soon. Like I said, sooner rather than later. Tyler, oh, Jack, just give it to him. Just give it to him. Oh my God, people love, baby. That's so funny. Like right when I just saw Frances Hodgson Burnett, but I didn't see that Emily had read it. People love, uh, Secret Garden, Little Prince, these kind of things. I mean, they're classics and amazing. Uh, they shape readers. They shape our readers. Is that uh Wittgenstein's Mistress that you're talking about there, Nick? That you've picked it up several times and put it down? There you go. See, Christina loves her for sure, and many readers. Yeah, there you go. And Danny, I'm sure Danny loves herself some Frances Hodgson Burnett. Faith in Books. I've heard her talking about Burnett. Um, and so many. She just comes up because it's wonderful. Yeah, I have never started it, but you know how I do, Nick? When I start, I don't stop. Especially with something that is so highly acclaimed, highly lauded, like Wittgenstein's Mistresses. I realize it's experimental fiction, but that's kind of my bag. you know, kind of my thing. There you go. Yeah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, y'all. All right. Yeah, do it. Oh my God. Jack, do it. And Tyler, this is going to be like Tyler's favorite video of all time. I really dig your content, Tyler, a lot. And I hope you get more subs. Let me tell you what, I have some ideas, I have some thoughts. Yeah, I don't stop. You don't stop, Nick. You just keep reading the words, man. Even when you don't know what it's saying, you just read them. And then you might, read a bunch and then say, I don't know what's going on. Flip back. Flip back 5 pages. Still don't know what's going on? Flip back another 5 pages. And keep reading. And keep reading. That's right, Secret Garden, baby. Emily and I went and we saw a play of Secret Garden that was really, really well done. It was so fun to go out and see that performed for us. Oh yeah, I know you're going to be all over it, Tyler. Yes, I got so Zelda had got another set of kind of like classics, children's classics for Christmas. So I'm gonna look through there. There's some Burnett in that. I think The Little Prince is in that. We'll dig into it because I haven't read it with her for sure. Nice. Very cool. That's how one reads Finnegan's Wake, Jack. For sure, Finnegan's Wake. You know, the Wake, I've never gone through it the way that you did. And, you know, yeah, I mean, with the Wake, I wouldn't bother going back pages. When I don't know what's going on, I just kind of keep moving forward. If I wanted to read it and get through it all, right? Nice. Nice. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know of any non-children's book that Burnett wrote. But all right, we're at 104. I'm gonna call it 105. Thank you so much, BookTube, for coming by. Happy Friday. It's been cool, very fun. Always is with y'all. Happy Friday reads. Hope everybody has a good reading week. And I can't wait to see all the content. And yeah, we're live tomorrow talking Flannery O'Connor. So um see you there, you know. There you go. There's the sweetness. Y'all have a good one. Thank you very much, Nick. It's awesome having everybody by. Y'all are really cool. And Andrew, you're the bomb. It I meant what I said in that Pedro Paramo conversation that Una and I did, that it is like a divine thing, buddy reading with this guy right here. This guy, Starscream Life, Andrew, a freaking awesome reader. An awesome reader. So I've loved it. I've loved reading everything I've read with you. And, of course, over the last year, it's been predominantly some David Foster Wallace that I shared with Andrew there in a buddy read. Yes. Very cool. Very cool. That's my baby. All right. Happy Friday, y'all. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one.